Throughout all of the episodes so far, I've talked about ways of legally taking every single pound coin out of the machine, or a way of ripping jackpot very quickly. Tricks in bookies and quiz machines. It's basically been about making money and legally taking money out of machines very, very quickly and efficiently. And it's been a good time, hasn't it, so far? I mean, we're earning money, freedom, and enjoying life. However, at the time of 2008, the UK was on the brink of a recession, if not just about to go into one. And I'm sure that all of you, depending on if you played machines or you gambled in pubs or you worked, you would have felt that recession at some point. It was a tough time to be around, and pubs were feeling it like no other place. Landlords would be barring people, and they would be keeping their eye on people on playing machines, and the reason for that was two. The first one was because they were getting heavily robbed at the time, and therefore companies were losing money. And if the machine does not make money, then the landlord, if they've got that deal of having a certain percentage or whatever of earnings, they don't earn no money. So it became a tough time, and it was a dog-eat-dog world. Now, what made this time so difficult was the fact that fruit machines were getting robbed illegally like no other time. There was plenty of different methods, and there was plenty of different ways of doing that. And sometimes they would take every pound coin out of a fruit machine, and therefore there was nothing in it, but the machine would still be juicy. It would still be ready, because they've done nothing against the percentage. They've just literally taken the coins out. So that became a really difficult time for fruit machine players that were playing, straight and narrow, to the point, going into pubs, buying drinks, and trying to time their machines, as we talked in previous episodes, and to just play them as normal. Now, at one particular episode, I can't remember which one I talked about, I mentioned about Red Gaming's new concepts and how they introduced different types of wheels or gameplay. Now, unfortunately, the one on the left is only a £5 and Holy Moly is 25. So there is a 50p button there. So maybe this is it is a 35. Yeah, sorry, there is a £35, which is perfect. So literally, both of these host this wheel. Now, these wheels here made this game very, very quickly to play. And if you knew what you were doing and you weren't scared of putting your money in, you could get these done very, very quickly. Now, that is the perfect scenario for any fruit machine player, because you want to be in and out your pubs as quick as possible. But unfortunately, for any person that was to play one of these, it's very difficult to disguise you winning money. Firstly, there was no way of catching coins. There was just a tray, so if pound coins fell out, they would hit the tray. On some different cabinets, there was like a little tube in which you could catch them. I can't remember this particular shell having any like independent tube. I'm pretty sure it just fell into a tray that was down the bottom here. So you couldn't catch your coins. You can rattle through the credits at a very quick rate to get this machine done, and that is exactly what I'm going to show you. Just proof in the pudding that it can be done very, very quickly. I have no clue what state this machine Holy Moly is, but it's a great little number. On that as well, just to push this to a little bit further with the story, at the time of this release, being initially a 25 and then upgrading to 35, one of these came into a local pub to me, and the day it came in, I made massive on it. I think I made like 90 quid on it, and I went on holiday 2 days later to Turkey. Now, I went with my girlfriend, or the at-time girlfriend that I talked about, and I actually every day thought about getting back to this pub to play a Holy Moly. And that sounds sad. I know it does. That sounds, just enjoy yourself, Bucket. You're on holiday in Turkey. Relax. But every day I was like, I can't wait to get back to play that Holy Moly. The sounds are great. It's just a brilliant game. Money on tap. And lo and behold, after 2 weeks of having that holiday and going back, it had disappeared. And it was because it was getting robbed. So it had been robbed twice that week. And it got banked, and the landlord filled it up, and in the end the company just removed the game. So yeah, that's just a little sub story, but overall a difficult time for any fruit machine player. Firstly, trying to battle the fact that they were getting robbed, and the machine would run out of money if you streaked it, and therefore it was IOU against your name, not the person who just robbed it. And secondly, the fact that you're battling the recession and all of the pain and struggle that every person in the UK is going through, including the landlord and the people that own the pub. So it was a difficult time. But as the story progresses, there was a bit more time needed, a time and care, I'd say, that needed to be put into a pub. You couldn't just walk up to one and absolutely rattle through your credits like I'm going to show you. You had to play it a little bit slower because you would get barred. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you that watch this video would have experienced a lot of barrings like myself in the eras of 2008 and 2009. It was a tough time to be around and play machines, for that matter, of the recession. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video now, and I'm going to bring you back once I've loaded some money into this machine here, and we'll crack on with how quickly you can actually do a holy moly. And sounds a bit dodgy that is, but you know, streak it. So I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so I've loaded in 50 quid. I did put £2 in and span it off a few times just because I wanted to see how loud it was, and I do think it's going to be a little bit overpowering, the actual machine noise compared to my voice. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to just start an extra clip and do it separately with no commentary, but it's pretty standard what you're going to see. I just want you to concentrate really on this wheel and how quickly it can rattle through the credits. You might not see it straight away because it might be due. I don't know how this machine is playing, but see how quickly the credits get rattled through. Even if it's after the mega streak, I'll put another 30 quid through, and you can see how quickly it just bounces off everything. And one massive thing on this game is that in order to ensure that it's streaking, you need to make sure it's red, because this machine, once it's jackpot ready but not streaking ready, it'll happily just throw you in enough nudges for like blue or red sevens, and it will gamble up. All that will mean is it'll just do a flat 35, and then it will just go dead, the machine. So you needed to ensure that it was red. I don't think I mentioned that in the first clip. Okay, so 50 quid in, I'll now start rattling through the credits. So you'll see a top at some point, and then afterwards just keep an eye on how quickly those credits can get rattled through when you're playing it. Well, that was nice. I've just unmuted the mic. 105. Obviously, it can't go no more. So that was nice and quick. And just say that was in a pub and you catch that just as it was. A 105 that quickly. But what I want you just to have an eye on is what this mega spin can do with the remaining £25 credits. I mean, it can land on it, but there's cases where it will miss it and it will just wrestle through it. And yeah, it's just asking for a barring. I mean, I don't know how long that actually was. I reckon that was probably no longer than 5 minutes it took me to get 105. Imagine walking into a pub. Obviously, it's going to be a slightly less time because you've got to feed your notes in and put coins in or whatever it might be. But you can appreciate how quickly you could win out of a red gaming with this mega spin wheel during the times where the recession is hitting hard. So I'm going to rattle through them now. And I'm just going to literally kill it off because I'm just trying to highlight this wheel here. So I'm just going to mute the mic and just rattle through it very quickly, and then I'll end the video. Okay, yeah, you can see at one point then how quickly it rattled through the credits. By the way, for any Fruit Machine players that have been watching this, how rare was that red 7 drop-in? I mean, that doesn't happen too often. It just throw in red 7s. The machine was that buzzy that it was just dropped in a £25 win and then gambled up and did the 105. Huge streak potentials on these sort of games. But what also came along with those amazing profits was ultimately a lot of Barrings, and it was a bad time to be around when that recession hit. Alright guys, much love like usual, and I'll see you in the next one. Ta-da.